What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great day. Wanted to make a quick video. I know the world is falling down. It seems like there is a piss ton of stocks that got halted this morning, not just AMC. Really unique. I'm not 100% sure on what my personal thoughts are yet. I'm going to be looking to see if the majority of these stocks belong to a certain ETF. That's something I'm interested in. But anyways, I went ahead and called the New York Stock Exchange. You guys know I've made calls before. The last one, we got some really great information, but obviously I had to remove that video because I didn't announce that I was recording it. So this time I'm just going to give you a quick breakdown. So got a nice gentleman, seemed to be kind of helpful. He mentioned that, number one, that it's currently being investigated, and it was crazy. There was a lot of background noise. It sounded like the dude was in a restaurant almost. It was loud. But he said that they're investigating it, had something to do with the opening auctions. And I asked him if he'd ever experienced this before. And he literally was laughing like while he was saying that, nah, not since he's been here. So I thought that was kind of telling, the fact that he hadn't seen it. And then he told me where I can go and look at the market status, which takes me here. Okay, this is the site that he mentioned, and a lot of you guys have seen this already. But yeah, we have basically the exchange continues to investigate issues with today's opening auction. So that kind of backs up what he's saying. In a subset of symbols, opening auctions did not occur. So there's no opening auctions in certain symbols. Why? Who knows? Again, I'm going to be looking to see if that has something to do with ETFs. But it says the exchange is working to clarify the list of symbols impacted. Member firms may consider filing for clearly erroneous or Rule 18 claims. So member firms, what does that mean? That's the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. Those are going to be, it's not us. Okay. But anyways, so let's take a look. Let's look up what clearly erroneous executions are according to NYSE. It says, for purpose of this rule, the terms of a transaction executed on the corporation are clearly erroneous when there's an obvious error in any term, such as price, number of shares, or other unit of trading or identification of the security. A transaction made in clearly erroneous error and canceled by both parties or determined by the corporation to be clearly erroneous will be removed from the consolidated tape. Okay, that's important. So it's removed from the tape. And it says an ETP holder that receives an execution on an order that was submitted erroneously to the corporation for its own customer account may request the corporation review the transaction under this rule. An officer of the corporation or such other employee designee of the corporation shall review the transaction under dispute and determine whether it's clearly erroneous with a view toward maintaining a fair and orderly market. Requests for review must be received within 30 minutes of the execution time. So 30 minutes. So these firms that were affected, they needed to have these reports in. So that's a lot of compliance on a lot of different securities that need to be, I guess, reporting this, right? It says it shall have information including or concerning the time of the transactions, the symbols, the number of shares, price, bought or sold side, and the factual basis for believing that the trade is clearly erroneous. Upon receipt of a timely filed request that satisfies the numerical guidelines set forth in section blah, 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 the counterparty to the trade shall be notified by the corporation as soon as practicable, but generally within 30 minutes. An officer may request additional supporting written information to aid in the resolution of this matter. And then this is what's interesting, the second part, because of all the stuff that you guys have been seeing that we've been working on the canceled executions, market maker execution reports. You see, we've been talking about Citadel, Virtu, Susquehanna. APE has an abnormally high amount of canceled orders. So this is interesting, this part, because it says routed executions. Other market centers will generally have an additional 30 minutes from receipt of their participants' timely filing, but no longer than an hour from the time of the execution issue to file with the exchange for a review of transactions routed to the exchange from that market center and executed on the exchange. So we don't get this information until the following month, the 25th. So for example, January, we will not get until February, the 25th of February. Does that make sense? So we won't know, but I'm very curious to see all the tickers that got halted, what those execution reports look like, especially when it comes to Citadel and Virtu. So that's one part of the erroneous execution. So it says that these firms can go and get some sort of compensation back right, from, you know, the NYSE's basically screw up. Now, another part about this is the compensation, the information memo. So NYSE Rule 18, which will bring back, again, Rule 18 claims here. Please show a copy of this memo to your trading and compliance staff. NYSE Rule 18 establishes a process for member organizations to seek reimbursement for losses resulting from New York Stock Exchange system failures, a quote-unquote compensation claim. The memo describes the elements of a compensation claim, the process for submitting a claim, and review of claims by the review panel. So it talks about, under Rule 18, the exchange division of floor operation determines that a valid order was accepted by the exchange's systems. An exchange system failure occurred during the execution of this order. A member organization sustained a loss related to an exchange system failure, and the exchange division of floor operations received from the member organization that sustained such loss oral notice by the market opening on the next business day following the system failure, or written notice by the end of the third business day following the system failure T+3 of a claim. The exchange will make a payment to the claiming member organization for the claim losses incurred by the member organization as adjusted by the compensation review panel. Claims that do not meet the above criteria are not eligible for reimbursement. And then it talks about the definition of a net loss. The system failure means the malfunction of a New York Stock Exchange physical equipment, devices, and or programming that results in incorrect execution and or no execution of order that was received in NYSE's system, or any malfunction of any third-party electric system service or facility, third-party vendor provided by the exchange. So the fact that they're saying that firms can come and actually get reimbursement because of this makes me feel like it is a genuine fuck up. But I'm just wondering, like, the stress of this and the, you know, even like hedge funds and stuff not prepared that this is going to happen. Like, it probably fucked up their books one way or the other, depending on how they were playing certain tickers, especially these tickers that got halted. This doesn't seem like this is a good thing. So I'm curious to see if these guys all make claims and try and get some money out of this. So it talks about, you know, the net loss process. So if you had a loss because of this, and it says compensation claims must be submitted on a per incident basis, meaning the member organizations may not aggregate losses relating to multiple incidents into a single claim, and may not net profits and losses incurred as a result of separate incidents. So this is interesting because it's only a bunch of different tickers got halted, but it all happened at one time. So I wonder if they're going to go through and they'll say, look, in order to make a claim, you're going to have to go through and literally submit one for each ticker that they were involved in, if you happen to have positions. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. No, not too much. Like I said, the biggest thing that I'm going to be looking for is, for me, is I'm going to check to see that these tickers, how many of them are in specific ETFs, and it has something to do with that. Maybe an ETF is not working properly. Something happened there with the way that the opening of the market was handled. I feel like we're not likely to get a whole lot of explanation about this, to be honest. So just interesting. Wanted to give you guys some insight that they're probably going to be looking to get some sort of money from the NYSE out of this, especially if it affected several different stocks. I think this could be a big deal. And if we do see a lot of people that do make some claims, at least we know that they're probably doing it because it's, they're feeling the noose tighten from all ends. So overall, I mean, I don't want to say that this is bearish for just AMC, but I think this is good for meme stocks across the board because, again, I think these guys have their hands in too many cookie jars. But anyways, that's that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you long time. Peace.